gotta take a deep breath in because the the hoodoo's broken. We finally won a game at Goodison Park, man. What's happening, everybody? It's full-time trip. We back in the building. Everton 0, Arsenal 1 at Goodison. Our first 3 points bagged at that godforsaken ground in about 5 seasons. Life is good. It feels good right now. Again, a dominant performance, not a ruthless one, but enough to get the 3 points in the bag. I'm here as usual with the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Timo Too Good and Ghosted. What's happening?
Yo, how we doing, people?
Hey man, we living good, man. We living good right now. It feels nice, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just put some extra shine and smack on Sean Dyche's bald ass head. Sent Brexit Triple H packing real quick back to his home in his local area. You know what I'm saying? It feels nice right now. It feels good. It feels good. I feel great. But we can start with I'd say some of the, I guess probably the most pertinent change. I'll go to G first for this quick question. David Raya in goal was the big talking point of the game today, at least leading up to the match. How did you feel about his performance? How do you feel about he slotted in? Is this the beginning of the end for Ramsdale? Like people are trying to, disaster plan and so forth. How do you feel about Raya's, first debut for Arsenal?
First and foremost, I don't think it's the end for Ramsdale by any means. But I will say that David Raya on his debut, boy, clean sheet, solid performance. I feel like his distribution of the ball was top tier as well. Like he was solid. Like I don't feel like we lost like any quality at all. It was a very good game, especially against Everton, because against us they always give us a bit of a headache. But today was great. I also think that Ramsdale will probably play in the Champions League game. So they're probably just letting David Raya play this one and get some match time as well. But I do think we'll see Ramsdale back in the team come that game against PSV. But yeah, David Raya, solid performance.
I hear it, man. And Timo, I'm a roll to you, bro. Again, it was a performance where we dominated proceedings. Like again, most of these games we played so far this season, but we just weren't ruthless enough. I guess, how do you feel about where we're standing so far? I guess in terms of performance. From that standpoint, but we're still picking up points, but some things aren't clicking all the way just yet. How you feel about all that?
I mean, it's kind of like you're saying, things aren't like Eurostar Express right now. We're not sailing, and I think it's one of those things where we already identified that Arteta's still trying to figure things out here and there. He's played for a few formations, played players out of positions we wouldn't expect them to be playing in. We started at 3 at the back earlier at the start of the season, and for the 3 games, it was quite, I wouldn't say even annoying, but we have to get used to what's going on, because the idea is we want to be able to replicate the form we had last season, where we had that element of a surprise factor, whereas now we have to be a lot more methodical with our approach. And we're trying to do a few things different rather than having the same attacking patterns that can be figured out. I mean, when you do play like you did last season, you're going to get figured out even if you don't win the league. So you have to be able to adjust to change, which is why, like, I think Arteta said some time ago, like he had a number of formations that we actually played in one game not too long ago.
It was like 45 or something like that, 43.
There you go.
Different ones in the game.
There you go. So it's a thing where I think that's even a draw against Fulham. So I think it's one of them ones where, like, when you then identify all of that and you take into consideration the injuries, and obviously we've got Partey out for a period of time. We've had to then move around our defense. Gabriel's now starting, and then obviously to see Fabio Vieira start today due to merit of his performances the last couple of games. I feel like it's, I think we're slowly getting there. Look, we're only 2 points behind City, so I don't even think we can even feel that hard done by. We would have been level on points if we had beat Fulham, but I feel like it's wishful thinking. Like, teams are going to drop points during the season. Let's not ride on coattails and think that we're at the end of the journey already. But yeah, that's kind of cut long story short. I think we're kind of getting there. We're warming up. I feel like we're finally kind of kick on, and obviously it's around time. North London derby next game, at least in the league, to kind of really now set things, going.
Yeah, I spoke a little bit before the match. I was like, if there was a game to kind of assert dominance, and again, not necessarily dominance, but ruthlessness, establish ruthlessness. Yeah. It's this game, and it's a North London derby, to show that efficiency in between. Our attackers, they got to be firing, and they got to be actively efficient with the chances that they get. We didn't see that today, but I can see those gears turning slowly. It's like again, last season we could have played heavy metal football all we wanted. We created all the chances that we wanted to in the world. And that's just because, you know, people didn't really expect our system and we were playing such good free flowing football. But I think that's changed now. There's a bit more security and there's a bit more control with it. Like, again, I'm sorry for the people who don't know anime, but if you ever watch JJK, Jujutsu Kaisen, and the man told him, hey, you know how to do a black flash? Nah, it just happens. But you gotta learn how to do it again next time and figure out how to do it again and again. And the repetition builds that familiarity with what you're tapping into. It's like now we have more control to dominate games. This was the most comfortable I've been at Goodison Park in literally 5 to 7 seasons. This is the most comfortable I've felt in a game. We just controlled everything. They didn't have much to offer. We were closing everything down. Again, aside from like maybe like one set piece, there was probably a little bit of fear in my heart. But like outside of that, not really anything. The control is there. And the game was a little bit boring at times, but that's what happens when great teams are going through their process. They're retaining the ball and they're trying to make things happen. It's going to look boring on the outside in some shades. That's what City do. And again, I don't want to compare ourselves to City like that, but again, they're the standard. They've won 5 games. City are doing what City do at this point in time. Games are going to look boring because we're controlling most of the proceedings. Now it's just time to add that little bit of ruthless efficiency behind our finishing, behind again the attacking in there, and it's starting to grow. It's just going to be on a slow cooker right now. Again, last season, what we were on like 12 points. This season now we're on 13 points at the same season. We're getting better. It's just slower than people anticipate, and it's in the comparison line of City, who are 5 for 5 right now. It's gonna be hard to, you know, be compared to them because City are just whatever. They're them. But don't think that just because games have gone slower and might be a little bit frustrating on certain ends, that it's exactly what it seems. The pace might be different, but the quality hasn't dropped. We're just figuring out new ways to approach a situation. So that's all I gotta say on that. But with that, we can roll into all the player ratings and all that good stuff. I'll start with David Raya in goal. I'm giving my man's an 8.5. Really? I'm not gonna lie. What else can you do? It was a little bit more calm than Ramsdale. I'll be honest. Even in away performance too at Goodison Park, where, you know, we're historically not really that comfortable. Caught everything that needs to be caught. Not really any punches. Was really commanding in the box. Distribution was A1. I ain't gonna lie. Some really great just pass out to the fullbacks. Some really good stuff. Calm under the press of Everton. Was really like just composed. It was wonderful. Stopped all the shots that needed to be stopped. Flawless. It was a flawless first performance, and I'm glad he's cooking like that. I can't wait to see more performances from him in the future. 8.5 for me. G, I'm gonna hand it off to you, man. Your guy, Benny Blanco.
Ben White, boy, I'm gonna give Ben White. You know what? I'm gonna give Ben White an 8, and the reason is because, like, don't get me wrong, I always mention it week in, week out. You see, from Ben White, you can always expect like the same level of performance more time, unless he's going against a winger that is of like the highest quality. But more time, even against them, he's starting to prove like that he can adapt. And today, I feel like he was solid, and the extra touch to his game as to why I'm giving him like such a rating is because offensively, I feel like he's just getting better and better with each game. Like from last season, all he would do was like overlap with runs, but now like he's getting into the danger areas, and I feel like if he like really works on his shooting, he can be one of them fullbacks that will, like, you know, nick a goal, because he's proven that he can score for Arsenal. Like, he's gotten goals for us, but I feel like now offensively he does well, tracking back he does well. Like, he's just a very good utility player for the team. Like, he can do so much.
I'll be real. Personally, he was my man of the match today. He was my man of the match. I would have given him a 9, but I'm gonna keep it that way. But my personal sense, I'm saying he was my man of the match by a decent couple of steps. I'm not gonna lie, on all ends, he was damn near flawless. And again, so much was involved with him on the right hand side between him, Odegaard, Saka, making things happen. And again, I think he was the most stable part of that relationship, and moving forward, and in defense on that side. So credit to him. I hear you, man. Timo William Saliba.
I'm going to give Saliba a 7. I feel that today he did have a bit of work to deal with in our eyes, well, for us anyway, but more so in regards to what he had on his opposite number in Beto. I think he definitely showed him really quickly, like, you're not going to kind of handle me about, or, welcome to the Premier League in a sense. So he was a bit no-nonsense at the start, and then he obviously took a knock to the face, which again, I'll get onto the officiating later on. No, didn't seem to struggle at all. I won't say it was a man of the match. I'm just happy the entire defense got a clean sheet, especially away from home, and especially at Goodison. Imperious defense. I think even when Calvert-Lewin came on, didn't seem to struggle at all. Literally just gave him a few pokes here and there, and before you know it, he's throwing a stropper as well. So yeah, I think seven pretty much justifies the performance that I saw. No real trouble on his end, and played well.
Yeah. No, I hear it. I'll jump to Gabriel Magalhaes. If he's a 7, I'd probably give him somewhere about the same. I'd probably say either a 6.5 or a 7. I'll just give him a 7 for the clean sheet, just his contributions, physically. I think about 7 is fine, equivalent. There was a little bit of a trouble there at the end where he kind of like lost it, but that was just one specific situation. That was when Zinchenko was off, so I feel like it was a little bit less stable. Gabriel's just Gabriel, man. I'm sorry, just very, very intelligent, very active. He's a vital part of away days for us. He is a vital part of away days. I think we don't play as effectively in away situations when we're against, again, the crowd, we're against another team, their home, and just that psyche without him. So I'm very glad he showed up again today. There was a scrumptious ball he played, that Gabriel Jesus, and if if that touch was on, oh my goodness,
that's a goal. That's probably half of the season.
That has to be, bro. That was like a Zinchenko level pass, Zinchenko Odegaard level passes from his side, and he does that more often than not. He's a way more tidy football than people realize, in my opinion. He's a very intelligent footballer. He's very smart. I feel like people just, again, get carried away by a couple of like the random crazy moments that he has when he loses the ball or something like that. That's few and far in between at this rate. So Gabriel 7. G, I'm gonna give you Zinchenko.
Zinchenko. Wait. This one is quite tricky. People might shout at me, but I think I'm not gonna lie. I think Zinchenko today, I'm gonna give him a flat 7. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a flat 7. Like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I've seen Zinchenko play better than he played today. Like, don't get me wrong, today he done well. Like, he done his usual stuff, dropping into midfield, helping, slow down play, good passes. I feel like he done good, but like I said, I've seen him play better. I know he can do better, and there were moments where, when Everton were trying to like get at us, they were like trying to target him, and he done well, definitely done well. But for me, I don't think he done anything like better than what I normally see him do. So I'm just giving him like a standard 7. Like, he didn't play bad, but I'm not gonna go as far to say like he played like amazing. But he was definitely up there, an above average performance.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I was even gonna just to add on to that. I feel that because of how much control we initially had on the game, he wasn't required to really play in that left back position until Everton saw that, okay, cool, we can actually have somewhat of an outlet on that side. I think when the second half started, you could clearly see that he's kind of switched on, and it's almost like he's initiating the starting phases of what we want to do to get the ball at the back of the net anyway. Seeing some of the diagonal passes and the reverse passes that he found himself in, and the positions that some of our players are finding in. That's kind of where I felt that the game was there for the taking, and I somewhat feel that obviously we'll talk about the other player in a second, but I feel like he somewhat started what ended up being the energy needed to kind of get the goal in the end. But yeah, I can't argue. I think a 7's fair.
Yeah, 7's fair. All right, cool. Where was I? It says Zinchenko. So we'll go to Odegaard. Team, I'll give you Odegaard.
My guy Martin. Right. There's been a lot of talk over the week in regards to certain Portuguese attacking midfielder and Odegaard and international performances. I won't get into that scrap for the time being. But I think Odegaard played pretty well today. Obviously, I would say it's one of them ones where I wouldn't say he was super or overly quiet. I feel like he showed us in glimpses, obviously, what we're regularly used to seeing him do. I feel like he's developing a lot more of a direct sense of what we are required to do to win these games. So what I mean by that is he's taking more direct action. So it might be deliberate shots at goal, trying to grab the game by the scruff of the neck in regards to dire situations or whatnot. But just realistically, it's just more of a responsibility. He's just taken more responsibility with us going forward, whether it be from out wide or central positions. He just wants involvement completely. Unlucky not to get a goal himself today, forcing saves out of Jordan Pickford on a number of occasions. But ultimately, quick thinking in regards to two set pieces that were pretty similar, but the second one obviously worked out in our favour.
Yeah.
Ending up getting a goal that ended up winning us the game. I know that's something they've obviously practiced on the training field, so props to our set piece instructor. But no, overall I think he probably warrants a 7.5. I think Odegaard played really well today. So yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it real simple here. Declan Rice 8.0. Like,
yep.
What
Yeah,
what more do you want from him? What more do you want? Honestly, bro, there was some guy in my group chat. Shout outs to him. You know what I'm saying? He has a good heart, but he was like, yo, I was originally against bringing in Declan Rice, and the emojis I sent through to this man, it was serious, bro. I was like, are you inebriated right now? You a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You a little bit loose? You was high when you made that decision? I just want to know. I just want to know what the bag was, brother. This guy does single-handedly holding up the midfield with 2 8s ahead of him, with a physical midfield of Gana Gaye, Onana, Doucouré. Like, what more do you want? What more do you want? Outside from that one weird misplaced ball he played between him and Leandro Trossard towards the end of the game, he was damn near flawless, man. I'm sorry. This guy. What more do you want?
That was the only glaring mistake. Yes, he had a 93%. He had a 93% pass accuracy.
The only mistake I saw. Literally the only mistake I clearly saw from him. Like, not even a debatable one. Just the only clear one. Oh yeah, dang. All right, that was a bad pass. Like, bro.
Yeah. But I think it's I think if you just look at it in terms of duels won, he won 4 out of 6.
Like,
clearances, number of interceptions, shots blocked.
Again,
long balls played, one key, like, you know what I mean? Like,
we're not the frail Arsenal anymore, bro. And a lot of that is because of him. A lot of that's because of him, bro. Man. There's a different level of skill. It's a level of steel, a level of control to the game. How many defensive transitions he blocked out in the first 20 minutes of the game? I can't even count. I literally got to go back and watch the tape. It was at least 4. It was at least 4 different ones. It was either him and Ben White was next to each other and just like shorted up. Like, he's everything we wanted in a midfielder and more, bro. When other midfielders are getting subbed off for doing nothing in a game against Bournemouth, I don't want to name names, but you know who you are. This is what good money buys. This is what good decisions buy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Declan Rice 8. But I'll move on. Fabio Vieira, give it to me.
Yes. This is who I wanted to talk about. You see, like, even though Martinelli came off earlier, you see Fabio Vieira and the link up with Martinelli on that left-hand side, different gravy. That one there is serious. Like, I'm not one of these Arsenal fans that are trying to give their shade to Havertz. And I feel like Havertz, he'll show us his good qualities in due time. But I feel like Fabio Vieira and Martinelli on that left-hand side, like, the synergy, considering, like, more time, Martinelli, like, when you think about his career at Arsenal, the person he's had on that left-hand side with him more times been, like, flipping Xhaka, Havertz now. Like, him and Vieira ain't played together that much on the pitch unless he gets subbed on. And more time by then, Martinelli might have been subbed off already for Trossard anyways. But I feel like now where these two are getting, like, moments where they can play football together on the pitch, and they've got like a good relationship off the pitch as well. Like, these men are like brothers. Like, you see them in like the pre-season videos, training videos, always bopping together, busting jokes, like stuff like that. When they're on the pitch together as well, I feel like it translates a lot, because them two on that left-hand side, like, it's a threat. And I feel like him, like, individually today, like the passes he was making, the runs, like, people would probably think that a game like this against Everton, like, due to like the physicality, that maybe like you'd think, Havertz is better. And I can't lie, I was even thinking that as well. Like I said before, like, maybe this was a better game for Havertz to start. But considering like he's one of like probably like the smallest player on the pitch, you wouldn't have like really, no, I don't think anyone could have guessed like a performance like this. Like maybe the passing and things like that, but the runs he was making, like moving around like the Everton players, like he was top. And I can't lie, I think I'm going to give him an 8 as well.
Okay.
No, I hear it.
I look, you think, just even to add to that as well, it's like you got to look at it from a perspective of he's come on off the last 2-3 games and just had absolute authority. Like he's grabbed the game and said, all right, cool, this is my game now. And to come on and do that in pivotal points when we've needed goals or we needed points, whether it be for a point or whether it be for 3 points, he's had the same enthusiasm, same energy, and same confidence. So I feel like he needs, like, him starting today will give him a world of confidence now, because it's a thing where, okay, it isn't just about Havertz. It's not just about who's starting essentially in that midfield. Like, I've now got a conversation going that I should really just be, being able to do what I need to do on the pitch, and obviously translate in points. I mean, look, he's played 3 games. Started 1, come off the bench for 2. We've got 7 points. 7 points out of the last in the last 13. So I mean, you got to look at it from the perspective of, if stats don't lie, play style don't lie, he's definitely confident, and he's only going to continue growing in confidence.
Agreed. What's it called? Martinelli, I got to give a bog standard 5 because he unfortunately got injured. Disallowed goal sucked, but that finish was fantastic. Hopefully it's nothing major. It looks like a hamstring, so probably like maybe a week or 2. Hopefully it's nothing major, but speedy recovery to Martinelli. But in his place, Timo, I'm gonna give you Leo Trossard, a goal scorer today.
Boy, I think we got to give Leo a 9.
That's fair.
That's despite the false 9 narrative. But he came on. Initially, it took him a while to kind of get into the game, which I am taking into account. Which I would have probably said an 8.5. But I think the reason I've gone with that 9 is that he wasn't the same. He wasn't positioned or even playing in the same position as Martinelli. You'd see him sometimes down the middle. The dynamic changed. Yeah. And I think against an Everton team where they are going to be very much heavy down the middle or heavy down the back, you've got to pick your moments. You got to pick your moments. And I feel like whenever he had the ball, he was carrying the ball, taking on challenges, taking on players, and releasing the ball in very good areas, and effectively being able to ball carry it in such an environment where things were very, not progressive. He came on and just added an element of enthusiasm about himself. And obviously, you can't take to score the goal that he scored. I'm not saying that players of Premier League standard won't score it, but I feel like when you're that good of a 2-footed player, we still don't, like, at that point I still don't know what his stronger foot is, bro. But to just have that element of quality. Bro, like, he took the Santi gene, bro. He took the Santi Cazorla gene and just I haven't seen somebody like effectively even pose in that sense and just be like, cool, I'm gonna strike it with my left foot and it's gonna go in. And you know what I mean? Like, he's right-footed, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He's right-footed. Weak foot, man. Left foot. Weak foot for it to be 5-star like that. Can't, like, EAFCs. You got to do the right thing. Give him that 5-star. But yeah, I just felt like he slowly got into the game and it became very, very clear that, you know what, he wanted to prove a point. I mean, he had a great international break with Belgium. He's come back and he's kept his head well above the ground and said, you know what, I'm gonna score today. So, props to him. He didn't start, still kept his head up and grew in the game, and he got the goal. So that's our match winner. I'm gonna give him a 9.
Here, I'll take it. I agree. I think that's man of the match for just the moment. And speaking of that, when you don't have good games, I think it's best for you to try and have a good moment in that game. And make things happen and still be a difference maker. And Bukayo Saka was just that. I'm going to give him a 7.5 today. And let's get this straight. He's being double marked all season. He's in this triple mark. Literally. He's at this point in the game where they know how dangerous he is, and he's in like this solid territory where either they're going to give him as much space in the world or no space whatsoever. They're either gonna, try and believe in something else or lock him down and give him max security prison. And it's kind of stunted how effective he can be in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he hasn't been the most influential in his first stretches of the season. No. As dazzling in the first stretches of the season, I would say. Dazzling. When it comes to influence, he's still as strong as ever, if not more. And that's why I'm pulling in that Salah comparison. Because even though Salah sometimes doesn't have great games, he'll pull off, again, like you've seen, he has like a hat trick of assists or 2 assists in the last game they played. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh yeah, he didn't play that crazy, but he got 2 assists. He's on the board. Like Saka is he's developing that. When he doesn't have great games, he can still have a great moment and turn the game on its head and still be a difference maker. So that's why I give him a 7.5. And that's why I'm kind of like, I've calmed down about Saka a little bit, because even though I'm like, damn, I wish he could just, like, you know what I'm saying, take the game out scruff of the neck and do this and do that. I need him to like twist and turn people. All it takes is one moment for the game to be won. All it takes is one, and Saka has the most propensity to do that in the squad, in my opinion. And I see him move, and I see him do what he does today. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm fine. So be patient and look closer if y'all are hating on Saka right now, because I know he doesn't have the best of games in this latest stretch. But what he does in key moments is still important, and it still gets us over the line. So yes, you can criticize the performance, but just know he's still most likely going to put up numbers to help us win the game and do some in decisive moments that help us win the game. So chill if you go crazy on him.
I would even add to that. I know I'm adding quite a lot today, but I think when you, like, you've hit the nail on the head in regards to what he, like, you have to obviously look at closely at what he's doing. I feel that there'll obviously be this element of he's not scoring or he's not assisting as much as he was the last season. Guys, we're only 5 games in.
5?
We are 5 games in.
And he's already got like, what, 4 goals and assists? 4 GA?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. And then it's just the fact that, okay, so we are 5 games in, and during that period of long runs of long games that we had last season, he played literally every single one. Like, I'm not even saying in a sense of burnout, because I know that's not the angle I'm taking out here, but it's a fact that for him to have been as consistent as he was last season, he's been consistent for a good 2-year period, guys. Like,
facts.
It's not a matter of it's not a matter of, oh, he's like, oh, it's a difficult patch, it's a purple patch. Like, whatever, he's still doing stuff that contributes towards points. He's doing stuff that contribute towards players looking, effectively players looking better on the day. I don't want to go into the goal again, but it takes important actions. If cutbacks in the box, they look very easy. For him to have had it to the level of detail for Trossard to get that clean strike on it, you know what I mean? That could have been overhit and it's gone, no goal. You know what I'm saying? I just think you have to take a lot more into consideration when looking at how Bukayo Saka's performances are for the games that have gone on this season. But like I said, bro, it's 5 games in.
I'm calling my man's Optimus Prime, bro. It's more than meets the eye. Real talk. He's having transformed performances.
This
real talk,
guy, bro.
Real talk, man. But we'll leave it. Eddie and Nketiah's last. G, go ahead.
Eddie and Nketiah. I'm gonna give Eddie. Bro, I feel like I say the same thing about him every time, bro. But I'm gonna give him a 7, and the reason I'm gonna give him a 7 because you know what it is about him, yeah. And a lot of people just say this is a cliche thing, but when he's on the pitch, regardless of if he scored, hasn't scored, got an assist, hasn't got an assist, one thing you know he's gonna do, he's gonna run and he's gonna work hard. And I feel like throughout the game, as long as he was on the pitch, like putting out as much energy as he could, he didn't stop. He was always giving them Everton players like that, like knowing factor that, yo, I'm a threat and I'm here. And he constantly does that. Like, and the thing is, like, he'll open up space in the channels for like other players to run, cut in, whatever it may be. And I feel like again, like him, you know what it is? Eddie, Ben White, and Trossard, those are 3 players in our team now. I feel like in different areas of the pitch, they're that utility, man. Like, you can rely on them to do a job when they're going to be on the pitch. Whether it's running, making like, direct passes in the final third, or running at a player in like a striker's perspective. Like for Eddie, like they do a lot, but Eddie today, I'll give him a 7. Above average performance. You put in a shift. Thank you for running.
Fair, bro. And I could run through it. For the subs, I'm gonna give it everybody on the subs bench. I'm gonna give him a 7 outside of Trossard because he had a longer spell in. Gabriel Jesus, a ball of energy. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely what we needed in the second half to help, again, spread the play, cause some chaos. Tamayasu was doing very well for recovery runs. He seems back to, getting back to his best past that international break and coming into this now. And Kai Havertz, I think he had some good spells as well, just not as much time on the ball just because of how late in the game it was, but solid stuff from them. Real quick, Timo, quick word, referee. Give me the referee. Let's talk about it real quick.
Oh man. When was the last time I gave a minus rating on
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we rated the ref in general, but yeah, Simon Hooper got to get something today. He got to get something today.
Bro. Yeah. All right, so give me Trossard's shirt number.
Hey.
And then just add a minus in front of it.
-19.
Okay, so
big minus.
That's the rating the referee's getting today. Honestly, I don't even know where to start. It's arguable. I still feel the debate of the offside is still arguable. I do believe an Everton player still touched the ball, so I think there'll obviously be that element of it. Obviously, that's out of his hands. VAR is going to do whatever it's going to do. I think more importantly, you as an official, I don't care if you have to depend on your third officials or whatever, your fourth officials or whatever. That challenge on Saka, I don't care if somebody else has seen it or you have seen a replay. You have to call out the player. Like, what are we like? The challenge was late. I don't even know. Like, if it's a late challenge and it's an Arsenal player, I know we're getting a yellow card, and we saw it later on in the game. But it's Bukayo Saka who we actually have to protect. Let's not kid ourselves. We already know what's been said in the press recently. He needs to be protected, right? I'm not telling them to, like, if that's a challenge, by all means ignore it. But I'm saying, bro, the player had to be carded there. Then in terms of knocks on players' heads, slaps across the neck, like, guys, like, what are we here for? Like, we're not playing UFC. We're not doing no, MMA. I mean, you could even argue we're playing WWE, but we're playing fucking, SmackDown versus Raw 2006. You know what I'm saying? Like, submission type shit. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like the referee needs to open his eyes. I didn't feel like he did that today. I think as the game wore on, he may have played it a little more, like down the middle, but I just felt like for large portions of the game, he didn't know how to handle the pressure of this game. So I guess even in the sense of it being 0-0, 1-0, whatever, that really didn't matter to me. It was a matter of like protecting, like whether it be an Everton player or an Arsenal player. I don't think he did that in any way, stretch of the imagination. So that's why he gets the rating that I've given him.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear it, man. I hear it. And last but not least, a quick word, real quick. Arteta.
Arteta. You know what? Yeah. See that done there. He put out the formation. The players done the job, but I'm gonna give him a 9 because I can't lie. I've been wanting to see Fabio Vieira get a start from these super sub performances. He done that. I said last time that I wanted to see David Raya get a start just to see what the dynamic is like with him on the pitch. He done that. We got the dub, clean sheet. What more can I want from Donny fam? What more can I want?
For real.
We got the result. What more can I need put on 2 players I wanted to see?
I think the irony is as well, when I even look at it from a larger perspective as well, like I was screaming I'd like to see so-and-so players play. And I think even when he brought on Trossard, I generally thought, and I'll put my hand up and say, I thought it was the wrong substitution at the time, because I felt like with what Martinelli was offering, you'd want to bring on like a Reece Nelson or a Smith Rowe who's going to travel with the ball at pace and cause the same sort of issues Martinelli can. But I mean, look, if he doesn't bring Trossard on, we probably don't win the match. So, you know what I mean? You've got to give your hats off to the manager, because he obviously sees something we don't see as fans. So, I think a 9 is I agree. I very much agree with Ghostin on that one.
Yeah, no, I hear it, man. But let us know in the comments what you felt about this match below. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, man? Like, damn. It's definitely, I'm calling this, it's a Transformer Gunners, bro. It's definitely a Transformer Gunners. Right now, it's definitely more than meets the eye. But next up, the champions! Spain, we're back. Oh
baby.
yes.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yes. When
Yeah.
that
When that music hits, goosebumps are about to be lit.
when I
I
see
tell you
that
for free.
CL music and that CL fanfare, the fireworks, the people screaming, the violins, pianos, and all that. Oh baby, I'm gonna feel good. I needed that, baby. That's next up.
Right.
But until
Yes,
then,
sir.
man, that's all we got. I appreciate you, Timo. I appreciate you, G.
Anytime, my guy.
COYJ. We up out of here, man. Peace.